My name is Tyr Throne, and I'm the founder of Somalogy. And for many years, I felt like a conscious nomad. I almost died. If you're ever flying, and like a week after flying, you feel a weird pain in your leg or have trouble breathing, please go to the hospital. I had like blood clots, and uh, I was trying to meditate it away. And luckily, my assistant in Germany is a medical doctor, and she said, "Go to the hospital now." And when I was recovering, I realized I just didn't need to live in New York anymore. I mean, New York is a really great place, and it's kind of like the joke of you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. It's kind of like squeezes you and forms you like a diamond. But then I just realized I really wanted to travel and teach, and so I've been teaching the Somalogy work, which is very good for like back and neck problems and posture and more flexibility in uh, many places: North Carolina, South Carolina, Hawaii, Germany, Italy, Thailand, and now I'm kind of based in Bali and then traveling around and teaching. And it's just really, really wonderful. One of my favorite quotes and kind of my motto is live light, travel light, spread the light, and be the light by Yogi Bhajan. And it's wonderful to let go of all the stuff. I started out my nomad life as I used to pick up girls for a living. Um, I was a ballet dancer, and so I got to travel all around the world picking up beautiful women and making them look great and setting them down safely. And uh, it it was wonderful to travel around and share something inspiring. And then I transitioned into a kind of sports medicine and work that could help the people, and I've had some wonderful teachers, and a lot of my teachers were really conscious nomads, like Moshe Feldenkrais, who traveled all around the world teaching, and Ida Rolf, and Gabrielle Ross. Um, so it's just wonderful to live and travel lightly and not have so much stuff and share and help people. And I get such good energy back because I help someone and there was all this love and appreciation comes back, and it's just a wonderful lifestyle. Um, the 4 Hour Work Week by Timothy Ferris was really a great book to read, and it made me excited and realized that I don't have to. For me, it was about not having to be tied to so much stuff. And the American lifestyle is so much materialism and manipulation to get you to be like a human wallet. And I just wanted to let all that go and concentrate on service and value and really enjoying my life. And when I almost died, that was such a wonderful wake up call. I made a will and thought about what I wanted to leave for the world and realized it was very important to write a book, which I'm working on now, and make some films and some other just really wonderful things and share what I could with the world. Here in Ubud. I'm working at Taksu, which is a really beautiful place, and I'm feeling really nice support there for helping people. And I also wanted to create like kind of a virtual support system. So there's some things you could see on the screen about Facebook groups I have for runners and for dancers and for people who sit at the computer who want to feel more comfortable and things like that. You can check out and enjoy.
You've mentioned a number of different places you've traveled to. What has the flow of your travel been like lately? Have you been hitting places fairly often or staying longer in places before you move on to the next place?
I go to Germany 2 or 3 times a year to teach the youthing system at some wonderful places, Yoga Vidya in Bad Meinberg, which is an amazing yoga center, and also uh, in Hanau through the practice of Dr. Heike Herman. And I taught for years in Italy. Usually I go and I teach about 6 days, and I stay for maybe 2 weeks to work with people. And I'll teach a couple. I also teach in northern Germany in a beautiful area called Ostsee, which is the north Sea area of Germany. And then I go to New York twice a year in the spring and fall, the best times to be in New York City, for about a month and do training there and also work with clients. I have some wonderful clients which really help me to develop my work of some amazing professional dancers and also some very people that have become very dear friends. And because I had a theater in New York for many years, I have a lot of connections there in the performing arts, and so it's always wonderful to be back in New York City.
But at this point, you said Bali is kind of a hub, and you're moving out from here.
Yeah, I'm going to make Bali, Ubud, Bali, which is paradise, a beautiful place to live, my home base for now, and then I'll be going to teach in Germany and Italy and Thailand and other places uh, throughout the year in New York City. There's also interest in Australia and New Zealand, Greece. A lot of other places want me to come and teach, so I'm organizing that now.
I imagine, based on what you do, you're in high demand. That's a nice place to be.
Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, I just tried. I've had wonderful teachers, and I just try to be of service and make it fun, make the trainings fun, and have them be a combination of the body work that can fix body problems, but also exploring movements so that you can feel more free and really good and comfortable in your body and yourself.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned a number of things that you like about travel, letting go of some of your possessions and things like that. What are some of the other things you find attractive about living a mobile lifestyle?
I love learning other languages. I mean, I try to learn a little bit of I'm doing Indonesian classes now here in Bali, and I'm try to learn German and Italian and all the other languages, and it's just it's amazing different ways of thinking, and it's so stimulating. And I also have an ongoing relationship. The professional training program is 6-day segments, but it's 4 years long. So I really am coming back and getting to know the people and really enjoy helping them, mentoring them to build their practices. And the in the youthing trainings, which are more experiential for people who want to feel more comfortable in their body for themselves, not to be professional therapists, that a lot of the people are repeating that also. So I can see the evolution, and that's very deeply satisfying for me. And I love feeling like I have an ongoing relationship with Germany and an ongoing relationship with Italy and Hawaii and these places. And uh, it's wonderful just to invest of yourself and to feel a great return of building tribe and family and friends.
Yeah, continuity. Um, Tell us about some of the favorite places or even events that you've traveled to. You've mentioned quite a few different places that you've gone. Any that stand out right now?
Well, the places I talked about in Germany, in Hanau and at Yoga Vidya, are really amazing places to work. Taksu here in Ubud is a fantastic place, a very beautiful healing center and support system. I worked at Sanctuary on Koh Phangan in Thailand, a very beautiful area. And in South Carolina at the University of South Carolina for the dance department, and with Dr. Rudolph Valentine, I taught groups, and it's I'm attracted to the places where there's a lot of uh, spiritual people kind of gather, and I can just come and be a source of inspiration, a source of resources. I feel very grateful for all the training that I've had about the body and also some amazing dance teachers. I learned a lot from professional dance of how I danced professionally for over 20 years, and the my body became a laboratory, and what I can learn from that. And also, one of the funny benefits of dancing is I got injured so often, and learning to heal all of my injuries. I've injured pretty much every part of my body, and then learning to heal all of those parts makes me a very good healer. If you have injured your knee or your back or your hip, for example, or your shoulder.
Exactly. What are some of the most important skills or abilities that have enabled you to maintain this lifestyle and for it to be sustainable for you?
I think the most important skill and ability is curiosity. You know, always learning. I think uh, generosity is important. I'm naturally very generous and love to give a lot. You know, I'll stay up all late, all night doing something, and I have so much passion for what I'm doing. It's a wonderful source. So I think if in order to be free, it's a wonderful kind of freedom to get to a certain level of skill at something. I have a lot of skill in that I can, because of my wonderful teachers and years of people just standing in front of me and saying, you know, I can't jump anymore off my right leg. Can you help me? You know, I've had the surgery, I still can't jump. And so just developing like a Sherlock Holmes kind of skill of being able to see what's wrong and then from experience being able to fix it. And just getting people back to do what they love so they can jump again, they can dance again, they can run again. They can sit at the piano and play music for the professional musicians. And some musicians will come to me, they're in so much pain they can't play, and they're just in terror of losing their life, really.
Yeah.
So it's a wonderful thing to be able to help that. And usually I can help it in just 1 or 2 sessions and give them things that they can do themselves that feel very pleasurable, so they want to do them, that help them to just be able to do what they love. And that's really, really satisfying. And I would say it's also just having a sense of courage. You know, I was lucky in that I got such support that I really could have the sense of courage that I just could take away the safety belt and just jump and fly and just realize now I can live anywhere, and then just travel to the places to teach. And for me, it's important in terms of a day-to-day lifestyle to have a place where I can give, to have a place of support system like Taksu here, where I can go in and do really good work, and it's fully supported, wonderful reception staff, and everybody taking care of the place for me, so I can just show up and be open to listening and seeing and intuition and figuring out what you need, and just be there. And I'm so blessed in that that system exists for me through my students in Germany and Italy and New York and other places. So, you know, now I just also am really enjoying, and I think it's very important now to write a book about it, you know, to create something that's also shareable. And I'm doing that in bites now through Facebook, through the different groups, creating support structures. I want to create interactive things that people can use, like video-based interactive things that they can use to help themselves.
What do you have any travel tips? Any travel secrets that you can
Travel
share?
light.
Okay.
Lighter and lighter and lighter. I travel with one rolling bag. That's all I live with.
Carry on or check in?
I could carry it on even. I mean, that's how light I live.
Yeah.
I have basically a little backpack with a laptop in it,
Mhm.
and then I have one rolling bag that's so small I could even carry it on the plane. I usually check it in, but I just really love living light. And so I have, you know, I mean, basically I'm packed with a yoga mat, you know, a laptop, my iPhone, and very little else. And when I go there, you know, I support the local people. I buy some local clothes, you know. I have a couple of clothes that are wicking that I travel around that are really lightweight. And, you know, just leave a few clothes at different places where like if I go to a cold place like Germany, leave a jacket there, you know, but don't carry it all around the world. And I'm not afraid to lose stuff. to let it go, to that I might never see it again. And just it, I realized what was important was the friends and people I really loved, family, service, and that was what was to focus on, and not, you know, Madison Avenue advertising. If you don't buy our deodorant, no one will ever love you, you know, kind of stuff. Let go of the materialism, and to just really focus on what makes me happy and making other people happy.
Yeah, I think there are numbers of threads throughout these interviews, but one of them most definitely is to simplify, and that people are coming to terms with what's really important. What do you really need to sustain yourself and to be happy? And a lot of the stuff that I currently have in storage right now back in the States, obviously I don't need it. It's been in storage for a year. And so it's helping us as conscious nomads. It's helping us to realize that the connection and the experiences are the things that are really rich and rewarding, and that all that other stuff is just stuff.
There's something in the news just now is and I'm joking on Facebook. I say there's finally a name for what's wrong with America. It's called affluenza. And there's a young boy, a young man, who just killed 4 people by drunk driving.
Right.
And he was let off by the court because his parents claimed, you know, they were too rich to teach him right from wrong. So, I mean, this is very perfect for what we're discussing right now. And, you know, I can become more and more affluent from giving value and service, but then I want to give that back or do spiritual things with it instead of just buying a lot of stuff that I'm programmed into buying. I mean, our whole school system is programmed to make people docile human wallets and consumers. We were asked earlier about inspirational places. Burning Man is a really wonderful place, and I go there when I can, and I donate sessions. And it's an amazing way because money is illegal there, and it's a gift society, and it's a participatory society. So my gift is healing, and then, you know, someone else will give me a pizza, you know, and it just goes. It's a really, when you're there. When I was there in Burning Man, I was like, I wish life could be like this, and then I go out about designing myself to be more and more like this.
Yeah, there are more and more enclaves where it is becoming more like that, gifting groups and communities, and people unplugging from the way that we've lived for so many years. It's really wonderful to see it happening all over the world.
Yeah. I mean, a very simple thing that anyone can do is just forming a credit union. Create your own money. Take all your money out of the banks. They'll all collapse.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we just can form communities with our own currency or credit unions or something that just pulls the plug on the system.
What are some of the things, I think it's important for our viewers that are maybe thinking of dropping everything and taking off around the world, what are some of the things that are difficult to deal with? We've talked about, you know, what excites you and what moves you and the freedom and all that, but what are some of the things that show up from time to time that are a little more difficult to deal with that people should be aware of?
Well, two things. One slightly different track is, one of the first things you have to do is figure out a funny riddle, which is, what is not selfish but makes you very happy? So what is a way of service and value that you can do where you can create something that is a solution that really helps people, but it also makes you happy? I mean, a lot of people are only focusing, in my humble opinion, they're really focusing on a kind of selfish, what do I want to do, what makes me happy? And they miss that essential service thing, which I'm really grounded in. I'm really grounded in that I want to provide something good for the world, you know, and that altruistic flavor or scent of something is very, very important. Then the second aspect of what you're talking about, the challenges are, um, I mean, there could be loneliness but if you're very friendly and you set up and you network and stuff, you can very quickly attract a wonderful tribe. Like here in Ubud, there's amazing people, like, and you can just, but you need to get out of your shell and get away from the internet and go out and meet some real people and interact with people. I mean, that said, Facebook has been fabulous for me. I have over 4,000, getting up to 5,000 friends now all around the world, and I really use that to network and interrelate. And even before I moved to Ubud, I already had like 50 friends here, so I could then. They were just Facebook friends. Most of them I had never even met, but I could then cultivate that and meet them when I got here, and it's just, I think living in a spirit of generosity is really important, generosity and passion. Um, there are challenges when you go into, like I just spent the last 6 months in Nepal helping women at risk. Some of them had coming from abuse, others coming from the sex industry, helping them to have a better future. And it was very difficult. I finally just gave up. It was just too difficult. The corruption, the dirt, the pollution. It was Nepal is the mountains are very beautiful, but it's become, Kathmandu is going through so much road construction now. It's like a war zone. And the corruption is just crazy. I mean, it's like day to day everywhere, all through the fabric. So it's there are, and so I have found places that I would like to visit, but less places that I would like to live. But your home base is important. It should be spiritual. It should be supportive. It should be nurturing. And if it's not, move, leave, find someplace else. I mean, sometimes people are stuck to kind of dysfunctional families. I don't mean they're real family, but the dysfunctional, like a support system.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, and I think it's very important that we nurture ourselves and we nurture a very healthy place and a healthy lifestyle and find a healthy support system that we can nourish, that nourishes us back.
Well, we're conscious nomads. We should be able to move around until we find that one place that really feels right.
Yeah. One of the big challenges is going back to the value piece, is going back to something ideally that's virtual, some kind of virtual benefit that you can give. So then you can live anywhere. Mm-hmm. I think anyone interested in this would really read the new updated version of the 4-Hour Work Week, and then other books that are kind of in that hemisphere. I have a link of 10 other books that are really related to that I'll share on Facebook. And these kind of books talk about finding your passion, but they're really grounded in success stories of people who found their value and how to organize it. And I mean, Tim Ferriss is a funny guy, but he's also, graduated from Stanford. I mean, he's a very smart guy also, and a very smart businessman. He comes across as just really a hoot, but it's really well grounded. Lots of very good information in there.
And I rather doubt he only works 4 hours a week, based on,
He's very honest about you have to do whatever it takes in the beginning. You might work, hundreds of hours a week in the beginning, but the goal is to streamline. The goal is to automate. The goal is to embrace technology, and to really figure out what you can delegate, what you can work in partnership with, really to figure out what's your special gift, your dharma, what's the reason you came to Earth, what do you have to offer. Many people that I know, I call them professional vacation people. You know, they hate their work. They finish the work as fast as they can in 2, 3 hours a day, and then they spend the rest of the time at the office just planning their next vacation. And then they go on vacation, and you know the coffee that comes isn't hot enough, and oh, my whole day is ruined, my whole vacation is ruined. You know, so this is not a life. You know, this is you know, living through that kind of existence. And I live in a place where people would love to come for vacation. And then I go and now I only teach in places where I would love to go on vacation. And I get paid for it. And it's just being very disciplined to do good value and to be professional. Um, I'm a very spiritual person, but I'm very professional in the way that I interact with my support system. So, and that's vital. And so the challenges are, I think if you're willing to learn languages where you go, a lot of the challenges reduce. Because a lot of people, they go someplace and then they complain that it's not like New York. You know, like they don't know how to do life or how to live. But if I go and I learn the language and I immerse myself in the culture and I find out what's special and good and beautiful about it, a lot of the petty irritations would go away. But it's the real meaning of nirvana means accepting things as they are. So if I accept the food as it is, it's hot. And if I just enjoy being hot and accept what it is, it's fine. But if I want it to be cool like New York City is in October, you know, I would be miserable. So there's, you know, a lot of wonderful conveniences and smooth ways things are done in New York City, but there's also a lot of stress and rudeness and things like that. And you know, a lot of other places in the world, like Thailand and Bali, the people are very sweet and respectful. And if you clue into that and really treat them as human beings and try to speak with them and understand them, there's so much warmth and so much love that comes back. It really creates the living somewhere else as being very, very beautiful. And then I make lists, and when I go back to New York twice a year, I get the things that you can't get other places. And but generally, I want to really live this life and support others and really living theirs more comfortably. With a lot of my work is helping the dignity back. You know, the people will get in a lot of pain for being all hunched over the computer, and helping their posture so they can come into, like, the computer goes out of their body and come into a real position of dignity and feeling really wonderful in their body.
Wonderful to know you're available for that kind of thing. Do you feel that living a conscious, location-independent lifestyle as you do, and as many of the people that you interact with do, is bringing anything of significant value to the world at large? You know, I don't know if you've thought about that question or not.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I feel, see, a metaphor is that if this if the world needs to shift to be more feminine in the archetype, if there's a distortion, like if everything's been distorted to be too masculine, I'm just proposing something, and that could be rapacious, like raping the earth, raping the world. And so if the healing for that would be to go more into the feminine, the feeling, uh, sensual things that mattered instead of time and money. So if we're being manipulated to a time and money existence, then something like what you call conscious nomad, I think, is a great concept. people becoming more conscious is the healing. And if the nomadic means that they empower themselves to move or do whatever it is that would be more healthy for them, this makes a healthier world. Because if we are being manipulated to be more like mindless consumers, and if this is causing the rape of the planet and the devastating effects on ecology, I mean, we have to wake up. Ecology and very new values, sustainability, sufficiency, has to become way more important than materialism, or we're all going to die, and our grandchildren are going to be wearing plastic bubbles and looking at us and guilt tripping us about how did you let this happen, and we don't need to do that just to own 10 different watches and 4 different cars and to be manipulated in all of these ways. So the conscious nomad is a kind of going directly to a solution.
Mm-hmm.
If more and more people are choosing, I mean, consciousness is the even more important thing than nomadic. But the nomad idea is just thinking that you're not bound to one spot, or you're not bound to where you landed, or you're not bound to where your parents landed. It is great to be close to your family, but sometimes you have to go away for a while and develop and grow, and then you can. I came back and was able to give so much richness to my family around my father's death. So it was a very beautiful thing to go away for a while and learn and develop my own work.
Well, that's a great perspective. That's a little different than the responses that a number of people have given, but it's really a valuable perspective. Thank you. Any last thoughts that you'd like to share with the viewing audience out here?
Yeah, take time to meditate. Take time to dance, to do yoga, to feel yourself. I think it's a Nietzsche quote that if you're just still long enough, the universe will roll in ecstasy at your feet and everything will be revealed. So I need these periods of deep silence and of feeling myself, of dancing alone, uh, of spending a long time in a yoga practice alone, not in class, to really feel myself. And I get so many insights, and I must have my iPhone next to me to take notes. And so I think we really need to follow our bliss, as Joseph Campbell said. And the only thing I would add in is to really focus on the value as well. And then you can really have the freedom to follow your bliss. One of my most inspirational teachers, Gabrielle Roth, says it very beautifully. She says, do you have the discipline to be a free spirit?